Okay, next type of training we're going to talk through is weight training. Now weight training is a little more complex because there's a lot of different additives that come into weight training. The fundamental thing is that weight training is the use of free weights and resistance machines. Okay, now free weights are like your barbells, which is a long one, you see the people in the gym doing a chest press, or the dumbbells that you see people doing, and the resistance machines is all of the machines that we have down in the fitness suite that we use to develop sort of power, strength and muscular endurance. How weight training is done is you will develop one of three things through weight training. You need to understand how sets and repetitions work. Now, repetitions is the number of times you do the weights, and a set is a number of times you complete that number of repetitions. So if I was to do 10 reps, it would be 1, 2, then I'd stop after I've done my 10. That would be one set of 10. Okay? For each of them, you'll need to do 3 sets. The first thing you have to do when you go in to develop any of these things through weight training is work out on the machines you are using what your 1 rep max is. Now we're very fortunate that we've just done fitness testing and all of you know what your 1 rep max is for the chest press. So how you do that is you have to work that out for every single machine you're going to do the first time you're going to use weight training. How you would then do it is you need to work out what 70% of your 1 rep max is. So if your 1 rep max was 100, then you would know that 70% of that is going to be 70. If you want to develop power and strength, you would need to work a weight that was heavier or greater than 70% of your 1 rep max. So you'd have to work higher than that percentage. If you want to develop muscular endurance, you'd need to work at a weight that is lower than it. The reason you're doing that is because if you want to develop muscular endurance, you have to undergo those repeated contractions. So you'd need to do, at less than 70% of your 1 rep max, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. That would then develop the muscular endurance over time. If you want to develop power and strength, you would still need to do 3 sets, but you would do this of 4 to 8 reps, okay, for both of them. The difference between power and strength, obviously they look identical, more than 70%, 3 sets of 4 to 8 reps, is that to do power, you would have to perform the exercise quickly. Now what I mean by that is, if you were going to do strength, the weight would be the same. For my strength exercise, I'd push out slowly and I'd come back slowly. For power, you push out quickly, come back slowly. So strength is nice and slow and controlled. Power is explosive, back in slowly. Explosive, back in slowly. And that would be the difference between the power and strength. Okay? The performers that would use this is pretty much any sporting performer, because every sport you have, you'll need to have elements of strength, power and muscular endurance. So all of the sports would use them, and that brings us nicely onto the advantages. It is relevant to every single sports performer. It's easy to adapt. If you want to develop muscular endurance in your legs, you would do a lot of machines like the squat rack, you would do a lot of deadlifts. If you want to develop your upper body power, you would then use any machine that uses the upper body, and you do it quickly with lower heavier weights but lower numbers of repetitions. Disadvantages, obviously it requires a huge influence of specialist equipment. Very few people have weights at home, so it does require that. And then another disadvantage is that poor technique, or if the weights are too heavy, it can lead to injury. Okay, so they're the main disadvantages and advantages.